Hey everybody, Greg and Rachel Denning. Welcome to Fantastic Family Fridays. Today we want to talk about the evening ritual. And there's something special about evenings. I love them. We get excited about them. Maybe it's just because the workday's over, we get to go back to home, back to family, and it can be such a special time, you know, preparing to go into rest and to go to sleep and just that time to bond and be close, but too many of us are wasting that evening time.
Yeah, we need to fully realize the power of the evenings, because in some ways, evening is preparing us for morning. It's preparing us for the next day. The way we spend our evening is going to carry over into the morning, whether or not we go to bed at a decent hour and get good rest, and the last things that go into our mind before we go to sleep, that's really powerful, and we need to be more aware of that, and we need to take advantage of that. Evenings are powerful, and as a family and with bonding, we need to take advantage of those evening times, which means, in a lot of cases, we need to cut out some things that shouldn't be there, you know? We're coming home.
Scrap it.
If you've been working, the kids have been at school, especially coming home in the evenings, they need to be spent together bonding instead of watching TV, you know, watching our favorite sitcoms. Take advantage of this special, wonderful bonding time and be improving yourself as a family. Be improving your mind. Be discussing great ideas. Be inspiring. Our evenings should be inspirational.
And it's prime time, right? Prime time TV, but we need to cut out the TV and prime time family, right? This is where we can, those are the howler monkeys. This place is awesome.
Those are the howlers.
It's a time that we can really get some serious benefit together as a family. And so cut out the junk. And I know this is really challenging. See, mornings can be challenging because you got to get up, you get going, you're going for the day, but you can get up a little earlier and make that effort. Evenings are challenging because you're coming home, all of you, often from different places with a lot on your mind and usually exhausted.
Tired.
And so this is where it takes some serious effort to be present, because a lot of us can be physically in the room or in the home, but mentally and emotionally somewhere else. We've got to be present or we're going to miss out on so much. So again, energy levels, we talked about that last one. Watch that video if you haven't. Make sure you're on full go, that you're like the Energizer Bunny, man. You can get home in the evening and you still have enough A game to give to your family.
Right, by doing those energy rituals of, you know, putting forth energy and resting that we talked about, doing that is going to help you and prepare you to be present and be there and be inspirational in the evening, so that as we go to bed, as we spend those last moments with our kids before they go to bed, that it's really meaningful and it really has power.
So be intentional and be proactive. Don't fall into the default of just, well, we'll just sit on the couch and we'll get some, you know, easy processed food and we'll all just kind of vegetate, thinking that's recovery time. That's not recovery time. So do good things. Now, one of the favorite things for us to do in the evenings is read. Reading in the evenings is so fun, including story times. I often am telling stories about what we read, stories about what we learned, stories about what we experienced. We'll take a mealtime, a chance.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that. You know, first of all, having a meal together, that's huge. And we've heard, you know, the benefits of having dinner time together. That's a big deal. Have the dinner time, have good, healthy meal, be together while you're preparing it, and have those conversations and all of that that's taking place. You're talking together. You are instilling the importance of good, healthy food and preparing food together. All of this is powerful. I mean, we think it's so simple and just no big deal, and we'll cut it out and we'll just microwave something. But all of it can be an important part and a critical element to helping raise the kids we want to raise. So this whole process, again, of being there, talking, communicating, preparing, working, cleaning up together, and then at the dinner table having those conversations, you know, that go past, how was your day? Oh, great, you know. We want to go deeper. We want to communicate. We want to share what we're learning, what we're reading. We should be learning and reading, you know, and talk about it as a family. And so then after that, you know, another thing that we do is the bedtime story.
Before we go to that though, a good way to think about this is, hey, we're elevating what we're eating, we're elevating what we're saying, we're elevating what we're feeling. So we're taking and we're nourishing our spirits, our bond as a family, we're nourishing our minds, and we're intentional about making it count. I mean it's such a great time to just bond and learn and grow and get experience, get an education. It's just, evening rituals are so powerful.
I mean, I think that's one of the most important things that we can remember is to make the moments count. So instead of just being in the same room and not talking together and whatever, just going through having our own world in our own little mind, being there and being present, and you know, maybe it's a touch, maybe it's just a word, maybe it's a smile, but we're there with our children and we're making these small things count, and we're making the day-to-day things count. We don't have to do some grand adventure, we don't have to, you know, whatever, make this big huge event that's supposed to be meaningful, impactful, and bonding. It's the little things. We can make dinner together. I mean, that's so simple. We can clean up together, and we can make that meaningful by the way we go about it.
And asking great questions too. I
Yes.
mean, draw out. I mean, too many parents are like, hey, how was your day? Oh, good. Well, there's so much more. A lot is happening, and it's a great opportunity to pull that out. And really, there's going to be things, hey, well, man, we should talk about that experience you had, and what did you learn, and what was said, what happened, and we can all share and grow. What a great place to teach value, to teach principles, to teach life lessons, to teach how to relate with other people. Hey, so-and-so did this, or this person cut me off, and instead of blowing up and getting road rage, I said, hey, it's not worth it. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to get home safely. I mean, there's so many lessons there. Life's lessons come out at the dinner table.
Just by dissecting and discussing what's going on, you know, this happened, this is what I thought, this is how I felt, this is what I learned, and sharing that with your kids. And obviously they're going to be a lot more responsive to that at certain ages, you know, but the goal is to open those opportunities, to make them available, because if you don't and you just continue to go ahead like you've done, you know, you're not going to be making those connections that can be critical in the teenage years. And if you're already in the teenage years, you know, there is ways to open those doors again
and this is critical for those stages when their minds are changing and independence is coming in, and they want to live their lives. Boy, a dinner table conversation and the connection makes it so powerful. So don't miss out on making these bank deposits in the emotional bank accounts. So my challenge to you, again, I mean, we already said that, but just stop. Maybe if you're coming home from work, or even you've been at home working your tail off, but it's coming to evening time, just step aside and just get present. Just take a deep breath, get present, maybe a good quote, a good thought, a scripture, whatever it is for you that just helps you, whew, okay, I'm here, I'm ready, we're going to make this count. So now after dinner, reading time, I read to our children almost every night before bed. And it's, they love it. I love it. It is just such a great time. And so we pick classics from our list of classic books. We've really loved series lately. There's several volumes. Oh man, they love them. And
Little House series, Narnia. Now they're reading Betsy Tacy.
And our kids are younger, and they just love these stories. I love them. I'm learning from them. I mean, we're reading these books that you might kind of blow off as, those are kid books. They're amazing. There's Swiss Family Robinson we read together. It's just spectacular. So we're reading all these great books. We're discussing the principles, the ideas. And so they're getting this habit now in their lives of every day before bed we get great ideas, great inspiration, stories that we just love. And so we all go to bed with good feelings, with excitement, having bonded together, having stimulated our minds and our emotions, and we're setting ourselves up for a good night's rest, a good start to the next day. We're bonding together, especially if Dad's gone working. Man, this I think is probably Dad's role, or Mom maybe out working. If you're away from the house, man, just sit down. And usually when I sit, they just pile on me. And literally, I'll have 4 or 5 kids on me while I'm reading, and that's just normal. They're getting the touch, they're getting the time, they're getting the insight.
Don't touch me though. It's really hot right now.
It is hot. It's hot here. But it's just it's so great. So don't miss out on that. And you know, often it's only a chapter, chapter 2. Often I'm falling asleep while I'm reading, and they're just saying, "Dad, wake up!" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm going." But it's just a great experience.
He does get up
together.
at 4, so he kind of has an experience.
Yeah, I start real early, so at nighttime I'm like, okay, I'm bobbing my head, but it's worth it. Oh, it's so good.
So then after that, I mean, of course we're just giving you an overview of our typical nightly routine, but you can throw in elements that you find is important. For us, it's eliminating screen time as well, for the adults as well as for the children.
And this is proven by research.
Yeah, this is proven.
The sciences, the studies, you gotta get away from the screen at night.
You want to sleep better, you know, you want to sleep more peacefully and more soundly. Eliminate screen time after a certain point. And seriously, it makes a big difference on your ability to fall asleep and your ability to sleep well. And so for myself, you know, I'm on the computer all day. My work, my job is, you know, designing websites, working online. And so I'm on there all day, and I try to make it a priority, you know, I mean, occasionally I'm working late, but for the most part, I'm shutting off my computer and using the evenings for reading. I especially like to read in real books, you know, like an actual book that you read. If I read on a device, then I want to use a Kindle because I've also read a lot of research about, you know, the effect of screens on your eyes. And you need to be able to counterbalance that with reading in real things, and then also, like, you know, looking at far distances. We're so used to looking at a screen right in front of us that we are not developing different parts of our eyes because we're not looking far away. So I'll go around looking at things that are far away, you know, as part of exercising my eyes. But anyways, as part of the evening ritual, get rid of the screen time and get to real reading, real books, and inspirational stuff. Now, you know, if you
There's kind of a toss-up here on fiction, non-fiction. Some like fiction because it's just relaxing, it's enjoyable. A classic, you know, a great book. Don't read crap, but a great book. You really get into, you enjoy it, and then you go to bed. Some people, we've both had this happen to us. You get into a fiction so good you don't sleep.
Yeah, you don't sleep.
So 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, you know, even reading history or nonfiction, which I enjoy reading those things, but they can help you to fall asleep better than a fiction book that you're really into. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But again, the importance of putting those...
I swallowed a bug.
Oh.
Sorry.
The importance of putting those good... There's a lot of bugs right here, actually. Putting those good ideas into your mind before you go to sleep. It's very powerful because you're going to sleep with good ideas on your brain.
If you caught that, we both read at night as well. Well, we read all the time. Whenever we have free time, we're reading. And so we got a book with us on the iPhone, on the Kindle, on the Fire, on
on
in
every
our
device.
hands,
We've got a
everything.
book,
There's
so that
books.
there's always something we can be reading.
We're carrying books, but you know, if I'm still awake after I read to the kids, I'll climb in bed and I'll read a book. And here comes a child right there. And Rach is reading in bed. So that's another element of the evening ritual. Hi, buddy. That's another element of the evening ritual, is that we read before bed as well. So again, you're taking advantage of that restful kind of evening. Your body wants to relax, your mind wants to relax, and you get into some good things, and you can get so much benefit and preparation out of it. It's really a great experience. Rach had to go in and take care of Sage, so I'm just going to wrap up. You know, eat a lighter meal before bed that'll help with your health and your weight. Eat a good healthy meal. Eat a couple hours, maybe even a few hours before you go to sleep. Capitalize on that time. Use it to really bond, to really grow, to make yourself better. Where it's a very peaceful, quieting. You know, get ready for night. Even kind of dim some lights and turn off a few lights, and let nature take its take its course there into the evening, into bedtime. But evenings can be so special. So make them special in the winter time, especially, get that fire going, get cuddled up, or in the summers, summers are longer. They got longer day hours for a lot of you, but when the light starts going down, the sun starts set, get in there, get close together, bond as a family. So that's our challenge. Go out this week, start implementing these evening rituals and make them happen. Then you've got a strong beginning to your day and a strong ending. And the more consistent we can be with that, the better we're going to be in creating a fantastic family culture. Reach upward.